Hey, I'm Levon Kirkland, Ring of Honor from 1988 to 1991, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Clemson Players Show on Fan Media Network. I got my boys here with me. I got Derek Sullivan, football extraordinaire, linebacker coach, man, did his thing at South Carolina State. And then I got my roomie, Tony Kennedy, number 35 on your roster, number 1 in your heart. Clemson roommate from 88 to 91, starting fullback. And then, not to be last, my scrub cousin, Dwight Kirkland, ward number 44 at Lamar High School, which I still don't understand. That number should be retired, just like the number should be retired at Clemson University. Guys, let's get into it. Today was probably for the Clemson fans a disappointment, not quite on the end that we wanted to be on. Derek, let's start with you first. What do you think of the overall performance of the Tigers?
I think the overall performance is about what we anticipated going into the game. I think offensively we're still just as explosive, regardless of who's at the trigger. You've shown that. I mean, DJ passed for well over 400 yards. I think our secondary has always been somewhat of a question mark, but missing those guys up front, I think, hurt a lot more than actually Trevor being out with Tyler Davis and our quarterback and linebacker Skalinsky being out. I think we played hard. We got ourselves in the hole and just didn't capitalize. The hurt stings, but we'll see them again in the ACC championship where they want to go to the playoffs. So I'm super proud of them. We'll get healthy and we'll be back.
All right. Tony, give me your assessment, my friend.
Yes, sir. I kind of agree with Derek. It's kind of what we're expecting, not the loss, but the way, we played. The offense could move the ball. I knew they would move the ball. The defense, you definitely felt the sting of missing those 3 starters on defense. As the game went on, you can see guys getting a little more tired. I think, to be honest, Venables, he tried to call a game he would normally call if the starters were there, and you could just see it was a little gap in the talent of the starters for those guys who we had to play today, and it just caught up with us. But like Derek said, I'm looking forward to the ACC championship game and hopefully having those starters back.
Dwight, talk to me.
I'm falling in line with the guys. Like I said, the offense came out, played lights out. So I said you expect that, but defensive wise, like I said, not having those guys in, that definitely hurt because, like I said, a lot of plays were left out there that normally the starters would have made, as far as like a lot of stuff up the middle and the tight end situation. I think not having the linebackers in there, that definitely hurt on that part for it. And like I said, I'm pretty sure ACC championship game is an entirely different outcome on this and entirely different team.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, I kind of agree with you guys. I thought the offense played well. They played winning football. Anytime you can score 40 points, you should have the opportunity to win the game. I thought the guys played hard, but you can see that on defense, we just wasn't quite there always, I think we did a great job in the third quarter, but when we scored that touchdown, that last touchdown in regulation, that's when your defense has to step up. And we let them get too many opportunities, and they end up winning the game. But overall, I thought the Tigers played pretty decent football. I would probably give them like a B- as far as the overall performance. Now, let's jump to DJ's performance out there. He's starting his second game in Notre Dame. He's playing behind an incredible guy like Trevor Lawrence. Can you guys, starting with you, Tony, give me the assessment on DJ performance as quarterback at Clemson?
I just say we are definitely in good hands if Trevor leaves this year. DJ, you can see the talent all over him. You can truly see the talent, the poise. 2 games, we're talking about tonight, but 2 games with over 700 yards, and 6 touchdowns and no picks. That's impressive for a true freshman coming in there and going to Notre Dame and playing like he did. He's a big guy. I'm not that impressed with the way he ran the ball today. I thought He went down rather easy a few times, but overall, I like him back there. I mean, I didn't feel like we were missing Trevor. I mean, of course, Trevor is our captain, you know, the main quarterback, but I felt like the offense was moving how it should be with him back there. I really felt good about his performance.
Okay, Dwight, what do you think? DJ's performance.
I mean, basically, he played lights out. I mean, he's not your average freshman. I mean, he gets out there. He's very composed as far as like all the situations he's going through, and you wouldn't expect that from a freshman. And like I said, the past 2 games he's thrown for over 700 yards already, pretty much already. And just to go into a place like South Bend and pretty much play like it's nothing to him. He went out and played lights out with it. And so I mean, like he's definitely going to be another branch as far as like a superstar in the Clemson range as far as like being a quarterback. So I definitely see big things for him going on further and further if, like I said, if Trevor does leave.
All right. Derek, what do you think about DJ?
I love the kid. Got a lot of heart, got a lot of poise to him. At times he looked like a fifth-year senior, but there are also times where he did look like a freshman. I think a lot of that was just communication and not getting the reps with the starters on the key third down. We're trying to hit the wide receiver, number 3 on a third down conversion, and he kind of threw it inside and the receiver was floating outside. And I just think that just comes with reps. Some of the balls that let float on him, that was on some key possession, would have kept some drives alive. I think those was just being a little antsy and a little bit high energy. But I think the more reps he get, those will become like second nature, man. But overall, great cannon for an arm, keeps the play alive downfield. Wish he was a little bit more explosive in the run game. I think Trevor got an edge on him there, but I think he'll definitely improve on that as well.
Well, it's amazing that the Tigers have probably hit 3 times in a row with quarterbacks. You got Deshaun Watson, you got Trevor Lawrence, and you got DJ. I mean, how many times, how many programs can really say that? You know, every time a quarterback leaves Clemson, you're thinking, there's no way they can replace this guy. Then another quarterback comes in, there's no way they can replace Deshaun Watson. Then you get Trevor Lawrence. Now you got DJ. I feel like the kid is really progressing very well. He could be a little better as far as the run game is concerned. I think that's really going to be about him trimming about another 10 or 15 pounds, but the guy has a big-time arm. There's no question about that. And he's going to be the guy that's going to lead Clemson into the future, especially after this year. And I think you're right, Tony. Trevor probably needs to go if you want to keep DJ. So we'll see what happens there. Last question, gentlemen. Where do the Tigers go from here? Tony Kennedy, let me know your thoughts.
Well, we got to get healthy first and foremost. With all the injuries, we're good enough to beat, Boston College, the Syracuse, or whoever. But when you get a team like Notre Dame, who's at full strength and, very talented team, the weaknesses show. So, one, we want to get healthy. I think that's first and foremost with the team. On offense, Trevor should be back next week. I don't think we really miss a beat. I hope the offensive lineman who got injured today is back next week. And like you said, we need to get those receivers back. But I think defensively, whether those guys come back next week or not, I think Coach V, who I love to death, I think he needs to look at some different schemes with the guys we got in there. I'll be honest, when it really hit me that we were shorthanded, and this is no disrespect to any players, but when I saw his son in the game and the secondary in the first quarter, I'm like, whoa, we are really down. Normally I see him later in the game, and he was in there early. And there was a few times, Ian didn't throw the ball to the guy he was covering, but the guy was open. And I'm like, we tried to hide, some of our inefficiencies on defense, but you got to play with the talent you got. Sometimes I don't think you can just call the same game plan and just plug people in, maybe difference in height, speed, size all together. You got to change some things up. But I don't think we need to rewrite anything. I mean, we're a good team. We're a good team right now. And then, like I said, we just lost a tough one. I think we'll get refocused next week. Definitely having Trevor back will settle us down. It seems like the last 2 weeks, with DJ, who played great games, it seemed like we just started off real sluggish for some reason. We hit the 75-yard run or 65, whatever it was tonight. And then, of course, last week with Boston College, we're fighting from behind. So we get some of those starters back in there and we start playing the game from the first snap, I think we'll be okay.
Dwight, let me hear you.
Same thing. Like it all starts with the defense. I think that's the main part that needs to buckle down a little bit. And like Derek said, pretty much, I won't say scale it back, but we have to simplify some things for the personnel that you have in there with them, because everybody's not gonna be on the same level. And as far as how you said with Venerable Son being in there a couple times, yeah, that's like I said. I know one of the safeties that went out during the game, and I don't know if that was just like a part just to get out.
That was Sanders that went out.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just like a plug in for right then, but like you said, Book missed that, and like I said, because he was wide open, and like I said, if the defense can just keep everything in front of them and work on the mental things, I think we'll be all right. And for the offensive wise, I don't know if it's just me, but it's like with Trevor not in there, it's like the running game not being as strong as it normally is. Because a lot of times with Etienne, he's been used mainly more in the passing game, which is fine too also as well. But if he's not being so much of a present as a running game without Trevor in there, and I think that's one aspect that he's missing a whole lot right now with Trevor not being in there.
Derek, let me know your thoughts, my friend.
I think the first thing we should do is definitely not panic. As Dabo always says, I think the goals that you set in front of you are still attainable. Win the conference and make the playoffs, and you're still on the way to a path to a national championship. I think we use this time, as TK said, we get healthy. So the bye week comes at a perfect time before we go down to Florida State. But also just work on us. I mean, it almost bit us last week with the fumble return for a 97-yarder. I think it definitely bit us today, on the little quick pitch, and we turn it over. So just work on the small things. I think our pass rush lanes we're not as disciplined in those things. I don't think we tackle well. A lot of times the first guy get there and he don't bring the guy down. We have 2 or 3 people around him. So I think we need to go back and just work on the fundamentals, just refocus and get healthy, and I think we'll be fine.
My final thoughts on that is the overall picture of the Clemson Tigers. When you do look at our defense, you got to keep in perspective that our guys are very young. We got some guys in there. This is still their first year playing football. Although 5 stars, although talented, and you can see the potential of what they can be, it's still going to take them some time. Also, I'm with you, Derek, on as far as when you have a quarterback who can scramble, you got to make sure that the pass rush lanes are really used well. When you overrun quarterbacks, when you run past the quarterback pocket, that guy can step up and he has a lane. And all night long, you see that Notre Dame had those lanes. And, we're sending pressure, but guys are going a little too wide here, or they're going past the quarterback depth. And that's when you give a guy like Book some room. Offensively, Trevor would make things a whole lot better. I think, like maybe Dwight or Tony said, that he will calm it down. And Trevor has that kind of talent with the RPOs that he can really hurt you. You can't just really key up on ETN. And I think that's what a lot of defenses are trying to do. They know how valuable he is. And so they are saying, hey, we're going to make DJ beat us. The kid is playing well. He's not quite there, but give him another year. He's going to be a fantastic quarterback. And, I think everything's in front of you. If this is the game to lose, this was the game to lose. You still got the bye week, and you're going to get healthier, and you're going to get better. And sometimes when you have a loss like this, man, it really focuses you back in on the fundamentals, the little things. So I think the Tigers are all right. Nobody ever wants to lose, but you win like 35 regular season games in a row, you're doing something right. And if anybody can get this team back in order, it's going to be Dabo Swinney and his coaching staff. I believe the guys will get back focused and be ready to go 2 weeks from now. Hey, guys, man, you guys did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for being on the show. This is Levon Kirkland, and we are out of here for the Fan Media Network. We'll see you next time. Bye.
To host a player show or appear as a player on a player show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.